Right, today we're going to look at potato salad. There are many people through the years that I've met who make potato salad in their own way. Each person boasts in their special, unique way of making potato salad. I've never found anybody who didn't enjoy my potato salad. And so today, under Apostolic Cooking, you are going to learn how to make the best potato salad in the world. Right, now here are the ingredients that you're going to need to make potato salad. First and most important, potatoes. I like to find the best, biggest potatoes that I can. But if you can't get potatoes this big, that's fine. Just try and get potatoes that are a reasonable size and fairly long. Okay, so I've got 6 large potatoes here, which is going to give me a full bowl of potato salad like that when we're finished. Now, included with the potato salad must be fresh onion. So get yourself a nice onion. I usually like to use the white onions because they're not as pungent, but white onions tend to be much thicker. And I like to slice my onion very thinly, as you'll see shortly. Now, that is your main ingredient. Then we're going to make a sauce to go with the potato salad. One of the things that I use to enhance the flavor is a can of ordinary peas. Okay? Can of peas. And then included in the sauce, we're going to put fresh mint, which we're going to chop up fine. If you can get fresh mint, that tastes the best. If you can't, that's fine. You can use dried mint. It will work just as well. You just got to leave it to marinate for a bit longer. Okay, mayonnaise, one of the main ingredients, but not just mayonnaise. And this is where my potato salad comes into its own. I have 2 extra ingredients that I put in it. I have normal fresh cream, 500 mils of fresh cream here. And then I have a 250 ml tub of sour cream. These make a very good combination together. Once we've got the sauce ready, we put the potatoes in. So what we're going to do firstly is we're going to prepare the potatoes for cooking. And then while the potatoes are cooking, I'll make the sauce. And then I'll show you how we bring it all together. Right, our first step is to peel the potatoes. Now, for many years, I have cooked the potatoes with their skins on and then peeled it off after it was cooked. It is always really a pain to do that, and I don't think it's really necessary. So I'm going to peel the potatoes first before I cook them, okay? Take all the peels off first so that you've got a nice clean potato, and then we're going to boil these potatoes until they are soft. And once they are ready, then we're going to cut them up, and I'll show you exactly how I do that. Right, now once your potatoes are peeled, you take them and you cut them lengthways like that, okay? The reason being, once these potatoes are cooked, we're then going to place them like this, and we're going to slice it this way to put into the potato salad. So take all the potatoes and slice them lengthways like that. And the reason for this is so that it cooks through better, because it takes a long time to cook a potato if you boil the whole potato in the pot. So we cut them all into, now if you're using smaller potatoes, you're probably going to be using more than 6. But there I've got more than enough potatoes here. And we're going to go now and we're going to put that in the pot of boiling water. Okay, we're going to drop the potatoes into a pot of water that's already boiling. I've probably got more water in here than I need, but that's fine. Now, another trick that I've learned to help your potatoes cook more quickly, and it also makes them more porous. Somehow I find it best, even if you make chips and you boil them ahead of time, is to add some baking soda. I normally put about a dessert spoon of baking soda into the water. It will froth a bit like that. That's fine, don't worry about that. But it seems to make the water either harder or softer, I don't know which. But the potatoes tend to cook a lot better. Okay, so we need to leave those to boil now, and we'll check them periodically to see if they're soft. Once I can put a fork right through the middle, then it's soft enough and we can take the potatoes out. In the meantime, we can start with the sauce. All right, now we chop the onion. Let's just first get all the skin off so that it's always the problem with an onion is getting the skin off, isn't it? Hopefully we can get this off fairly easily and quickly. Hey, that one's going pretty good. Okay, once we've got the skin off, we're going to just cut this onion down the middle like that. And then we're going to slice it, but we're going to slice it extremely thin. You don't want the onion to overwhelm the potato salad, okay? So make sure you have a nice sharp knife which you can guide like that and slice extremely thin slices of the onion. Once we've sliced the entire onion, we're going to throw that in the in the bowl with the sauces, and then we'll start adding the other ingredients. Okay, the onions are all chopped, and we're going to put those all into the bowl. And then we're going to deal with the next ingredient, which is the mint. Now, I don't know whether you have access to mint. If you've got mint in your garden, of course, that's magic. You can just go and pick it. But we buy the mint here already packed for us. So it comes like that in the stalks. And what we have to do now is to remove all of the leaves of the mint before we can chop it. Otherwise, we're going to have those big stalks in there. So once I've removed all of the mint leaves, we'll then chop that mint up and put that in the bowl as well. Okay, so we're going to just chop the mint here quickly. They're quite big leaves, so it's going to take a bit of chopping. Once I've got that fully chopped, then we will add it to the bowl. All right, now we're going to put the chopped mint into the bowl. And I think there's probably more than enough there, but just to make sure, I'm going to also add a little bit of dried mint. So I'm going to add an extra teaspoon of dried mint in here, just because the minty flavor is a huge part of making this potato salad taste really awesome. Okay, now we put the can of peas in. And then we're going to start adding our moist ingredients. And the most important is going to be your mayonnaise. Now, mayonnaises vary a lot. I personally am very fussy about what mayonnaise I use. I'm not sure what brand is your favorite. Perhaps you have a favorite brand, you can use that. I like this brand, Hellmann's. I think it's an international brand. It's one of the best. It's just pure mayonnaise. We sometimes use a tangy mayonnaise from Woolworths, which is also quite nice. But this one is, you want just a pretty plain mayonnaise. If you want, you can actually even make your own mayonnaise. And perhaps I will do another recipe showing you how I do that. So for now, we're going to put quite a lot of mayonnaise in here to start with. Okay. And then I'm going to add the sour cream. After that, I'm going to add the fresh cream. We're going to mix that all up nicely so that the onions and the mint and the peas can all marinate together. Now, usually you like your final result in the potato salad to be a little more tangy with a bit more sour in it. So I usually add a bit of vinegar also afterwards. Now, as I look at this, it looks a little bit too runny to me. So I'm going to add just a little bit more mayonnaise, but we will probably decide on the final consistency once we put the potatoes in, okay? So in the meantime, we can take this and we can put it into the fridge so that it can chill and be cold, and it will be able to at least marinate for the time that it takes for us to finish cooking the potatoes and then cooling and cutting the potatoes. So once the potatoes are ready, we will then show you how we slice them and put them into the sauce. Okay, we check our potatoes now. I'm just going to push a fork in the center, and it's still fairly firm, but I think it's well enough and it's cooked. So I'm going to take the potatoes out now and let them cool. Okay, so we're just going to take these potatoes out one at a time with my slotted spoon, rather than pouring all the hot water down the sink. And we should have 12 pieces, seeing as we had 6 potatoes. There we have all of our potatoes. They're looking lovely. We just need to let them cool properly now so that we can cut them and put them in the sauce, and then we'll leave them to chill in the fridge and they'll be ready to eat. Right, I'm bringing the potatoes outside. It's evening time here, as you can see. It's lovely and cool. You can probably hear the traffic in the background. See the steam coming up from the potatoes. We're going to leave them now until they're completely chilled and cool, and then we'll finish our potato salad. The potatoes are now nice and cool. They're still a little warm, but cool enough for me to touch. So I'm going to take them one at a time now, and I'm going to slice them fairly thinly, like that. Then add them to the sauce. And we're going to do all of them a few at a time, keep adding to the sauce. As we add to the sauce, we're going to just mix it up a little bit so that the sauce permeates. Especially, you need to be careful that the pieces don't remain sticking together like that, because it can be a problem. So you should try and separate the pieces a little bit once you put it in the sauce, otherwise you're going to get these big clumps of potato. At last, we have all the potatoes in. I'm going to give it a good mix up. See, there's a nice lot of sauce there. Now, depending on how many potatoes you use, you may want to use different amounts of cream. I like to have as much cream in as I can because I love it to be nice and juicy. Now, we are assuming that most of the spicing, the salt, etc., is going to be in the mayonnaise. But if your mayonnaise is not that spicy, it may taste as lacking salt. So, as we tasted here, I think it needs a bit of salt and it needs a bit of vinegar. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add my favorite spice, aromat. I know it's not the healthiest. It's got MSG and other junk in it, but I love it. And then I'm going to put just probably a couple of tablespoons of vinegar in there. I'm just going to turn it all up. And I think it's looking good. You can see the onions are kind of sticking out. Some people like to pull the onions out of the potato salad and not eat them, but if you let them soak in, eventually you can't taste the difference in the potato and the onions. But the important thing is that we've got the onion flavor in there. So if you're one of those fussy people who doesn't like onions, you can pull them out. I think we're about there. I'm going to put a bit more vinegar in. I think it's salty enough now. So just a bit more vinegar. I like a sour tang in my potato salad. Some people like it sweet. It's entirely up to you. I mean, you could add sugar to it if you really wanted to, but that, to me, would just be not potato salad. Okay, so here we go. There's a nice onion. Nice and crunchy. Tastes good. One final taste. And I think it is now perfect. So we can now put the whole bowl in the fridge to ready chill nicely. And we're ready to eat.